Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing, yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring.
Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Dawn. Welcome to my channel, Totally Transform. I do videos on life transformation, health and wellness, and my own personal journey recovering from chronic illness. I have over 12 years of experience practicing Oriental medicine and acupuncture, and a lot of times I get patients asking me, what can I do to prevent myself from getting sick during the flu season? So as you can see, it's Christmas time, and I got my tree here, and I have a fire going on the TV. This is kind of how we roll here since we don't have a fireplace, so, and it's Arizona, so we don't really need a fireplace. But anyhow, I have quite a bit of experience with raising my own immune system, and I had struggles about 20 years ago with getting sick quite often. Typically, I would get sick between 4 to 5 times a year, and looking back on a lot of that was adrenal fatigue that was causing that immune system to consistently go down. And it got to a point like in around 1999, I had a doctor tell me, you know, Dawn, there's really nothing I can do to help you. You really need to go to a naturopath. And you know, I kept getting antibiotics after antibiotics, which was continually actually hurting my immune system even more. So I started seeing a naturopath who gave me acupuncture, Oriental medicine, herbs, supplements, and vitamin IVs, changing my diet. All those things raised my immune system to enough where I may get sick once a year, not even that. So there are several things that I have followed over the years and that I recommend my patients to do. I have patients that say, hey, should I get the flu shot? Or, you know, and it's their body, their life. They can do what they want. But personally for me, the one year I got a flu shot, I got really, really sick that year several times. It did not prevent me from getting the flu. And the flu shot will not raise your immune system. But it's your body, it's your life, do what you want, you know. But everyone knows that the actual virus that they have in the flu shot is not applicable to the year that they're giving the flu shot. So, but yeah, you know, so I just basically say it's up to you, and I just tell them my experience. And I've actually studied quite a bit on the immune system and vaccinations. And I am for, you know, some vaccinations, but for this particular thing, for me, I don't get the flu shot every year. I just kind of follow these tips and tricks and, you know, pretty steadily, and I, like I said, rarely get sick. So number one, the first thing that I started to do was cut out refined sugar out of my diet. Now I know this kind of sounds a bit tough this time of year for a lot of people because sugar is everywhere, but if you can at least cut it down quite a bit, that'd be awesome, and really exchange it when you're cooking for natural sources of sugar like maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar. I in particular use stevia, monk fruit, and erythritol. Those are the 3 sources I use. But things like honey, for instance, in small quantities is really great for the immune system, especially if you buy it local and raw. So there are substitutions that you can do. But for me, cutting out sugar completely has just really helped me a lot. That sugar is just really bad for breaking down your immune system, and it also is well known to feed viruses, bacteria, and cancer cells. So I think a lot of people are aware of that these days. So yeah, number one, cut out refined sugar. The second thing would be to do a supplement regimen. Have like a whole food supplement that you're taking daily. I recommend Garden of Life. I typically prescribe standard process that has to be done through a healthcare provider, but Garden of Life is really great, and it's offered online, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Vitamin Shop, those types of places. And also, there's really 4 basic supplements that people need, possibly 5 in America. So the second thing would be to take a probiotic. The third thing would be to take vitamin D3, because most people are deficient in it, and it's really great for the immune system. And then the fourth thing would be to do omega-3 oils. Omega-3 oils are just something that a lot of people are deficient in. And all around, this will help your immune system total, taking all those supplements. Even if your multi does say it has some of these things in there, I would still get them individually just to make sure that you're getting enough. The fourth thing I would recommend is a vitamin B complex, and that's because most people are generally stressed. The third thing that I would do to help, protect yourself for the flu or cold is to take something every single day that will prevent you from getting it. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people, they'll start taking something when they have the first signs of a cold or flu, but they're not taking something every single day. Why not just take it every day, and then you won't have to worry about even getting the cold or flu? So this is something I actually started several years ago, and it's worked really, really well for me. I usually take something like oregano oil or golden seal, echinacea. Really, it's individualized on what people like. A lot of these supplements out there, or herbs, actually protect you from viruses and bacteria. They can actually kill viruses and bacteria. Then there are even stronger ones that actually are like a natural antibiotic. And so, I will do like garlic, or, there's colloidal silver. There's several different things that I have on hand that I use. Not necessarily on a regular basis, but if I find myself getting sick, I'll just start taking it every single hour. And so, yeah, if you're worried about getting the cold or flu, or if you're somebody that actually has been getting sick often, you do need to get your adrenals addressed. And I would do that through a healthcare provider, like a health coach like myself, or, a doctor, naturopath that understands the adrenal and immune system. But also, yeah, take something every day so you don't have to worry about getting sick. I mean, really, everybody is vulnerable to getting sick during the flu season at some point, but some people are more vulnerable than others. People with chronic illness, people that are older, elderly, so on and so forth. So the third recommendation I would have is to do some type of probiotic food every single day. And really, there's 3 types that most people go for, and that is kefir, kombucha, and probiotic vegetables. Yes, yogurt is out there too, but yogurt really isn't that strong of a probiotic food, and typically most people are buying it with sugar in it, and it really defeats the purpose. If you're gonna do yogurt, do a nice Greek yogurt, but I think yogurt only has 3 or 4 strains of bacteria, and kefir has up to 30, depending on the kefir. I in particular love water kefir, and but you may be thinking, Dawn, that has sugar in it. Well, the sugar actually turns into a beneficial acid that helps to grow the bacteria in your gut. And a lot of times, if you look at the bottle, you can find that a lot of times, if you get the regular kombucha or regular kefir, I do a ginger lemon kefir. It has very little amounts of sugar, and I typically do about a half a bottle. Not every day, but every so often. But what I do mostly are the juice of probiotic vegetables. And I have something here called Farmhouse Culture Gut Shots. And I love this stuff. I get this you can get it at Whole Foods, you can get it at Sprouts. And I just take a couple swigs of it a couple times a day. And so there's nothing like, and this is actually, I think, made from, cabbage. there's just nothing like cabbage for the gut. It really helps rebuild the gut really, really well. Taking probiotics in and of itself, yes, that's great too, and I do that every single day, but you're gonna get more bang for your buck doing probiotic foods. All right, so the fifth thing that you wanna do is to use essential oils. Essential oils are awesome. One in particular I really love by Young Living called Thieves, but I use Rocky Mountain Oil's Immune Response more than I do Thieves. I still think I have some Thieves left over, but I used to work with Young Living in the beginning of my career, and then I switched over to Rocky Mountain Oils because they're a lot more inexpensive for the same quality of oil. You want to use food grade oils, you want to use therapeutic grade type oils that are very strong and potent. There's a certain distillation. Boy, I'm really not pronouncing things really well today. It's Monday. All right, so I'll put a link below for Rocky Mountain Oils. Michael, the owner of Rocky Mountain Oils, used to work with Dr. Gary Young, and he is amazing. And it's, like I said, a lot more inexpensive. But what I typically use essential oils for is like an antibacterial. Instead of using an antibacterial gel, I'll use the oils on my fingers, on the back of my neck to protect myself throughout. And I keep like a bottle of it with me. The other thing I do is I do take it internally, but here in America, it's illegal to tell you to do that. So you didn't hear that from me, but it just doesn't make sense, guys, because oregano oil is taken internally and that is an essential oil. So, and they sell that legally just fine in most health food stores. But anyway, if somebody comes in, let's say that has just been recovering from a cold or flu, or just I am exposed to somebody with a cold or flu, I typically will put a few drops on my hand and lick it, okay? And then I also stick it on my fingers and the back of my neck, and then I actually, if I'm treating a patient that's sick, I just put it on them too. And I just make sure I take, some type of supplement that's fighting, an herbal supplement that's fighting bacteria and viruses, and I just don't get sick usually. So that's really awesome. And it gives me confidence to go out and do what I need to do. So the sixth thing that I would recommend is to not use antibacterial soap, but to wash your hands instead, all right? Or not use antibacterial gel. And I think that this is probably the most controversial of all the tips that I have, because so many people believe that, wow, you're fighting germs and you're helping your immune system by getting all this bacteria off of your hands. But guess what, guys? We have good bacteria and bad bacteria that lives on our hands and our skin. And it is a protective mechanism. And so when you're using that antibacterial gel or soap, you're washing that off of you. And so it really is just better just to wash your hands really well. Use actually a little brush that will scrape under the bottoms of your fingers to clean yourself at least once a day. You can do that in the shower. That's what I do. And, I wash my hands frequently all the time. And then I use, if I can't get to a sink, I use that that essential oils and as an antibacterial on my fingers. So let's say I'm out and about and I'm touching things at a store, then I can just quickly stick that on me. They actually make Thieves, antibacterial gel. You can make your own little spray and stick it in your purse. There's just a lot of ways you can do that. So the last thing that I recommend to prevent you from getting sick would be to just get enough rest and de-stress during the holiday season. It's really important that you get to bed at a decent hour. So the more earlier you get to bed at night, the more quality of sleep you're going to get. The less run down that you are, the less likely you're going to get sick and your immune system will work well for you. So be sure to get to bed at a decent time. If you're trying to get to bed at like 11 or 12 at night, you're not getting a good quality of sleep, because for every hour before midnight that you sleep is equal to almost like 3 hours of really deep restful sleep. So try to get to bed as early as you can. And there's some nights I fall asleep later than others, but I typically go to bed I fall asleep between 8 to 10 o'clock every single night. And if I do that consistently, I get a way better amount of sleep and feel really good throughout the day, as opposed to if I get to bed later, or especially if I get to bed after midnight, I feel awful. So I hope that these tips helped you guys, and if you have any questions, please comment below. If you like this type of content, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, Totally Transformed, and thank you guys for watching, and have a safe and happy, healthy holiday. Love and blessing.